Hello and welcome back to the JOKAKAKA. We are a JoJoLands podcast. We're talking about Chapter 11. Who are you?
I'm Sam.
And I'm Jim.
And we are back for another month, another chapter.
Brand new year, brand new JoJo chapter.
I off to a hot start, I think, of the Hustle Part 2, Chapter 11.
Pretty good. So, okay.
But first.
Interestingly, no, I have a thought.
What?
Never mind.
But first.
We would like to thank the dedicated, humble patrons that that so graciously support us every month. Going to give a classic shout out. If you'd like your name shouted out, patron us at any amount. We treat it like a kind of a tip jar-y sort of thing. Mm-hmm. No rewards.
No, this is your reward.
This is your reward.
You get your name or your, if your giggle name, whatever.
All right, so we're gonna start.
Go.
We have Go Gappy, Perpetually Angry, Tactical Brag J, Ariane Blintz, Blueface, Illicit Pencil, SBN Rustic, Classic Andy, Ninonin, Sabat, Harrison French, and Call Me K. Thank you so much. I can't believe
that felt like a lot.
Yeah, I can't believe we have so many people supporting us. Honestly, it's so humbling that you guys even drop us any money. So seriously, big thanks to them. We would probably be dead in a ditch if it wasn't for them, right, Sam?
I already am dead in a ditch. This is all hallucination, Jim.
Last plug. If you would like to have your name read out at the beginning of the next JOKAKAKA chapter review podcast discussion, you can just patron us. All right, so Sam.
Yes.
We're talking about part 9 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, the most popular part.
The most popular part, part 9. Everyone on the internet's talking about it. Never before have I seen so much activity around one part of JoJo. We're talking about chapter 11. So,
but Jim, hold up. The Phantom Blood musical is coming to theaters.
Thank you.
In February 6, 2024.
Well, there is a tour planned as well. I don't know if it'll be reaching New Jersey, but
damn.
We can hope.
Bring it to the part 9 one where they had to perform it in Atlantic City.
There we go. Now we're talking.
At Caesars or the Showboat or...
If we ever do a JoKaKaCon, we should do
no.
I've
been to a convention in AC and AC fucking blows.
That's why it would be funny if we did it in AC. If we did JoKaKaCon.
AC is like one of those parts of South Jersey I just wanted to flick off, chisel off.
I do love the name JoKaKaCon. I feel like that's really... Yeah. It really flows out of the tongue. All right, so
I want to do the same place where like MagFest and KatsuCon's at, like right there.
Oh, Sam, we can afford AC. We can't afford fucking National Harbor.
No, we're not gonna be at National Harbor. It'll be like right outside of it at like the little
some
bingo
Chinese
hall.
Restaurant. We'll just pick a Chinese restaurant.
Basically, where they do an indie wrestling show, it's actually gonna be JOKAKACon.
JOKAKACon. All right,
we'll have a party clown.
If we hit $1,000 a month on the Patreon, we will. This is my spoony moment, Sam. We will have JOKAKACon if we hit $1,000 a month on the Patreon.
When that YouTube ad revenue gets past 10 cents.
Alrighty then. So last time in JoJoLands, we saw Dragona had a big freaking cut on their throat.
Okay, but what if we took the wound and pushed it somewhere else?
So it took me a minute to realize like what was going on here, but yes, they did literally just push the wound into a glass, and I really like this. The glass like shattered. Well, it actually cuts right in half. This is like really fucking cool.
It's so weird. It just like I don't know. It just like it doesn't sound physically possible. I'm like that. That's what they said.
Sam.
I know. It's like you take the wound, everything that happened inside, you push it up, and then you push it somewhere, like literally push it somewhere else.
Push it somewhere else, like the meme. That's the problem. There's no one's talking about JoJoLands. We need fucking more memers. We need people making push it somewhere else meme images on Twitter. Yeah. But so we have a hilarious scene here where Usagi goes through like every emotion on like one page. He's at first delighted that Dragona is safe, then has this moment where he's like, you know what, Dragona? Ever since we came on this trip, very, I've been in love with you.
Very Anasui-like, of just like having a one-sided simp conversation and like being totally ignored is for the most part, or just having like I'm focusing on the plot right now. You need to like it's gonna ignore you.
Yeah, kinda. There is an interesting exchange.
He is crying. Tears are in his eyes.
There's an interesting exchange here. So Usagi does seem to be in love with Dragona,
Yes.
which I was talking with my friend, our artist who does the thumbnail colorizations, Plume Moth, DM me immediately when this chapter dropped and was like, there's big implications about this line. And it's hilarious too, because I didn't even think of it, but it either means one of two things. So Dragona is trans and Usagi is straight, or Usagi is gay and Dragona is not trans, but just cross-dressing. So that means there is LGBT afoot in this part.
So it was stated before Usagi that Dragona is the brother of because they always say that
they always use brother. As far as I know,
they have said it in front of Usagi before, correct?
Yes, and as far as I know, the pronouns the Japanese pronoun that Dragona uses is sort of a it's something that like masculine people who are identifying more femininely
I was gonna make sure, because I get worried that like the low-hanging Japanese like joke, or just like the low-hanging like stupid joke I've seen before, like, oh, you have penis, like kind of joke kind of thing that I've been seen in like many occasions that I get like roll my eyes at.
Something like insensitive. No, it really doesn't feel insensitive at all. This feels like Usagi legitimately feels like it's like he's deluded himself into thinking. I feel like you can't tell like you love someone that quickly, but
we've been hit by that trope that you get worried when you see that thing. I want to make sure that like Usagi definitely probably heard that state that, okay, yeah, that's my bro over there.
So yeah, it does seem so. Yeah, we are in a great state when it comes to the LGBT. What is it? Confirmed LGBTification of JoJo. But so it's funny because Dragona immediately is like, I don't care about this.
It's the Jolene stuff, essentially.
Actually, interestingly, their response is, thank you, like thanks, but they're not so they're saying they as but we siblings aren't particularly interested in that. No idea what the original Japanese says, but seemingly also just confirms that JoJo is completely aromantic, just uninterested in romance. Which, I mean, as far as JoJo protagonist goes, is pretty par.
He's a psychopath.
He is. Well, didn't they like retcon that? He's not quite. I think he's not a sociopath anymore. That was the issue. Was he was labeled as a sociopath or something?
It was a family therapist that like not gonna like tell them that what he actually is.
He's like, all right, can you please get me like a legal weed card? Like just write whatever down on the thing as long as they give me like a legal weed card.
I had him go online to BuzzFeed to say what psychopath are you, and as long as he didn't go past a certain level, but he did hit American Psycho level.
American Psycho. So yeah.
But also basically like they want to go track the guy, the mysterious man we still don't have a name for, by the way.
That's true.
And they oh yeah, just say you want an item, because carrying a knife, I do love I love his Usagi's stand so much. Its design is so good.
Mata Kudasai.
His little chocobo stand.
This thing is cute as hell. Very fucking funny.
The stand version
that he's always begging people to use his stand and they don't care. Like, I feel like there was something similar in the last fight as well. It's just like his stand is one of those things that is like insane. It seems like the potential's through the roof of what it could do, but people don't seem to care. It's like he's limited by the people that people don't give a shit about.
I'm trying to think, is there anything like that in JoJo where like a character like, hey guys, I can use my stand, and like everybody just kind of ignores them? That's like not like a
what's Poco Loco kind of has like, he has like the most OP stand and no one cares and no one can really do anything about it.
People like physically know about his stand, or like it's not even a combat stand, it just tells him what to do.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of ambiguous, but
this is more of a
post like part 7 stands are always more like ethereal. They're not really like,
yeah, but his was more like, I don't know. It wasn't like an actual physical thing that we've seen in action before. It's very unique. His was just like good luck. And his actually has a very set of rules that require it to activate, and
we do see it anthropomorphized, so presumably that means that people can see it. Like there's one scene where like what's his name? Ringo, like you do see what what's his stand called?
What, Mandem?
Mandem. You do see what Mandem looks like, but it's only like for a panel or two. So, and it's one of those things, like, I don't know if that's just for us as a reader, or maybe that does actually manifest physically.
Kind of like that weird, like, one panel. That one panel really had of, like, the Hermit Purple stand that was in the end of part 8. Oh, yeah. That we saw, maybe a panel or two of.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good comparison, because we don't really know. We, of course, in part 3, we never see, like, a anthropomorphized version of it. We just see it as the vines.
But I love his stand. It just looks like there's a character in Final Fantasy 14 called Alpha who's a little micro chocobo, and it reminds me of like a robotic version of him. He's a good boy. I want to pet this stand.
He's cute. I love him. I want him in my house. I want him to be around my dog so that she attacks him.
When they ignore him, there's like live reaction of both of them. It's the funniest face.
It is fucking hilarious. He's a good little guy. He's just got those big expressive eyes, even though there's nothing in them.
But they remember tracking 101, which is if a guy had a cut on him, just follow the trail of blood. It's going to lead you eventually to a cutscene where you find him. It's
true. And this is just hilarious. I love how, I mean, this is very much a like part 5 sort of unhinged like human behavior where Paco is immediately just going to like harm anyone that gets in his way.
I think like the Always Sunny title, like Paco terrorizes the local food court.
He would fit in very well with the Always Sunny gang.
This is just like the Always Sunny for team for JoJo, essentially. I feel.
Yeah, no, I see that too. Especially Usagi. Usagi's very much a Charlie sort of character. I don't really see a character like D though. There isn't, no one is as pathetic as D is.
Well, if we're possibly getting new members, we
might be getting a new member. Very specifically, we might be getting a new member. But so yeah, this is hilarious. Paco, literally just the first man he sees near the blood trail chokes him out.
Like the Usagi system or something like that, or just like the JoJo system.
I like the Paco system.
The Paco system. If in the comments, whatever system, what character you think is the dentist.
What would their system be to
their name? Yeah,
what is he basically doing? He's basically just like leading a woman on, and then immediately
Usagi's tactic,
just like pickup artistry. Like
Usagi's tactics to get Dragona's heart.
This is hilarious. Paco just immediately starts choking a bitch out.
He's getting a 1-star rating level, and not what's it called? Not Joshu comes back to his car, and that's where the blood leads to the car or the passenger seat of the car. And
I like that these characters have been in the background for like the past 3 chapters.
Honestly,
it's really funny. It's fun to me, like from a continuity standpoint of just like shit going on in the background that just comes to the forefront. It's like when you're watching like a music video and something from the background comes up right in the screen and goes away. Like, like that one Kylie Minogue music video that I love so much.
Sure.
Come Into Your World. Look it up, folks. It's a good music video.
I'll believe you. And yeah, so he immediately starts choking him again, saying,
"Hilarious."
He's like, "Bad. Like, where is he?"
Like, I know that Araki always draws the humans hideously, like non-stand users hideously. But this guy looks like he's actually dying when he's being choked.
And remember last episode where he's like based off like an artist.
Which one?
The not Joshu. He's like based off an artist.
I forgot about that. That's so funny that he would continue to like harass this real man.
You know what they're doing? They're doing like a cop pulling over, or the one's being overly aggressive, the other one's like doing like the finger cross, like I got some of this dust here. Step out of the car, ma'am. And I love this guy coming out of like the car, like the way he blend in.
It's cool. I have to say, it's not as cool as the last chapter. The last chapter had some of the coolest Araki spreads I've seen in like literal years.
It also makes me think of like, man, Araki like really liked drawing this guy's ability that he may just want him to join the team because he loves drawing him as like a background.
That is a really funny idea. It's kind of like the whole horse thing where there was like discussion, or there was, I guess, contemplation on Araki if he wanted to have Whole Horse join the team or not, just because he's such a fun character.
And like, yeah, I thought he stabbed the woman in the under the neck at first.
No, he's a nice gentleman. He doesn't harm.
It comes very close to her.
He doesn't harm civilians, only his targets, Sam. He's a nice man. That's why he's going to join the team.
But okay, we'll get there. And yeah, we gotta get like a CQC fight, November Rain. Like,
there's actually a lot of really good art in this. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm diminishing the art. Just compared to the last chapter, like the scene when he was like in the clouds was such a mindfuck. It looked awesome.
I just love our characters who just ignored the locals. Like anybody that starts yelling at them, they'll just ignore him, ignore them. It's so funny.
They're not humans.
Paco's like, shut up, or I'm literally going to break every bone in your body. I love. So Paco is like the leader.
He kind of
is like the definitive leader of the group.
If anything, he's instigating like all of the like issues.
He's the Bruno that's a kleptomaniac because he has weird stuff he can just do with his body. and like kind of like the leader of our weird criminal team.
Which ironically, Bruno would be a great kleptomaniac with his stand.
He would be, but he's too busy like helping the locals.
Yeah, he loves his community in where was he? He was in Sicily. Naples. They were in Naples.
Yes. Yeah, a little cafe. And I love the way they find the guy is, oh, the watch is moving on his own. We're just gonna follow that.
This is like so interesting, and from like a writing standpoint, I was thinking like about the end game of like what this part will be, and like I'm assuming it's gonna be a lot of like hot potato with this stone.
I also have a theory,
and it's funny
as well.
because like that power of like drawing stuff into it is like the perfect like tracker. It's like the perfect like what's the word, like Achilles heel to that.
It's like a magnet, or like I've seen stuff in anime has that too, where like, oh, is it like the gun devil, like, oh, we have this bullet that's gonna get closer or get reacting closer to it, but it actually goes back to the source. And
I think it's just from my standpoint, it's interesting that like unless we have a villain that can like change the fundamental nature of how this works, there's always going to be a way for our heroes to at least locate them or to use things to their advantage.
The opposite, or like, you know, like Milagro Man is gonna get you richer, but like it doesn't have to counteract Milagro Man because I know it's still going on that stand most likely.
Yeah,
it's like a curse stand.
That would be funny if they got combined.
I guess it is like the what's it called? The cheap trick for part 8, where it's just kind of a latching on, and they don't have a ghost. They don't have a ghost dimension to send it to.
That's true. Yeah, it's more of a curse than it's.
This is a story about breaking like another curse. But yeah, so it leads them to the beach.
What curse was broken in JoJoLands? Don't answer that. Or JoJoLands, don't answer that.
Okay.
Don't answer that.
Well, obviously.
Rhetorical question.
It was no. I also do love that the giant diamond they have is kind of like the ultimate like magnet for them.
Yeah, it's that's why what I'm saying. It's so interesting to me that like the things that would normally be a benefit for having the stone work to our hero's advantage when they don't have the stone.
And they
cool writing, Araki.
And they just go to the waterfront. JoJo and Paco go in fully clothed. Right into the ocean.
It's true. We saw November Rain attack initially, and the guy like disappears. But yeah, they this is really funny to me too. Like JoJo has this like extended fight scene underwater, and everyone's just like, he's okay, all right. Like, right? Like, we don't have to jump in, right? Like, they don't even think about ever going in to save him. It's hilarious.
And also, we learned that JoJo's November Rain does not. If you're underwater,
learned its fucking okay. We learned its dimensions.
Yes,
we learned that it is
range of 3 meters with a height of 4 meters,
which doesn't make sense.
It's a shower, sure.
Which doesn't make sense if the range is 3. Wait, I guess he means vertically or horizontally. The range is 3 meters.
It's like D&D.
Vertically, it's 4. Yeah, like literally,
it's a rectangle, 3 squares.
Yeah, is it a cone or a rectangle or But yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't work on if you're underwater. It will not affect you. You cannot go through like another
which is also interesting because it behaves like water. That's what's kind of interesting about the stand. It's not that it's shooting energy. It actually is like it is creating water, but it works in like a different way.
Yeah, JoJo's has a weakness where Dragona is OP.
Dragona is extremely OP. This is actually, like, thinking about it, I really have only read this the one time because I read it at work on my break. But thinking about it again, it's actually kind of a really cool fight how they set it up, where we're putting JoJo in a position where he's, like, at an extreme disadvantage, and this is something that's going to persistently be a problem for him. It seems to be if there is something blocking the rain flow, then, unlike water being this example, that he's unable to, like, use his power in that way.
Yeah.
So villains are probably going to bring some umbrellas around next time they show up.
The ultimate counter.
Yeah.
I bought a wetsuit.
Oh, shit.
The rubber is the ultimate weakness. So yeah, we get more of like sneak attacks on the gang and everything. And it basically like has JoJo versus the I guess he doesn't have unnamed man. And we kind of get a good look at him too with his face.
We do see him.
Not nearly as ugly as he once was.
Well, when he was Paco.
Yeah. Or even like the first initial like break away your face.
Is this before or after he's in the wave? Because he does.
Yeah, he comes out of the wave. And
his little thing where he's in the wave.
Yeah, this is like he comes out of the wave and then starts attacking, and then JoJo kind of drags him under the water.
I love his knife. His knife's really cool. We talked about it last time though.
Yeah, And yeah, I guess November Rain kind of drags them underwater, and they're really in the shallow end for the most part. But they kind of, I do like half his body's missing, but his foot's there. Like
very cool imagery. I like it. It still makes you wonder. And also, I have to say, not that like water destroys rock people immediately, but like this is giving me like flashbacks to Josuke's first fight with the proper rock human, which was when he fought Yotsuyu.
Yeah,
because that fight ends with him
in the water. Rock, right? Yeah. That's how he beats him. He doesn't kill him. He just like makes him,
throws him in a net
until he stops thinking.
So yeah, like that's what I'm wondering. Like, isn't the whole thing that Yotsuyu went back into like stone form when he was underwater? So I'm wondering if
retcon is like the gum fruit, where you just get really tired when you're deep, can't use your powers, and you go to touch the water. You instantly rockify. I think I don't think so, because fucking what's it called? Isn't like Blue Hawaii, like Dolomite is like in the water all the time?
No, he's not in the water. He's just by a pond.
He's like in the water.
I thought he was like by a pond all the time.
I thought he just kind of lurks in there.
He just hangs out around the pond. That's where he lives. He likes being near the water like a turtle.
He's a cryptid. And
he's probably still alive.
Probably.
Living a horrible life eating...
Remember we all thought he was going to come back? Thanks to one translation.
Thank God he didn't. Honestly, fuck that guy.
But yeah,
fuck the worst arc of JoJoLands.
Well, Jim, you like this guy's knife so much, it's now broken.
That sucks. Honestly, fuck JoJo for that. Bring the knife back.
He's bringing the knife?
We're
gonna have a bigger knife. He's gonna upgrade his knives as he goes on when he joins the crew. But yeah, then we kind of get like more underwater CQC. You got a big old zoom in on his face. And they're having underwater conversations.
Yeah, that zoom in's really good. That's a really good Araki drawing. He did good there.
Okay, so what was like the weird draw JoJo on this page, like on the?
It's kind of funny.
It's like so does not match up anything else. It's so weird.
It looks like a fucking like meme face.
It does.
Like a meme react, like those soy jack faces people draw.
It's so weird.
It's so round.
It's like really thick lined, like I don't know. It's just like it looks like it was a concept at one point where it got like the second stage like before the final one, and then it just got published by accident.
But okay, what is happening here? So we start to see that more drops are going through the water and they're hitting JoJo like around him. Is that his stand? Do we think his stand is like changing the way it's working so that he's able to get the... Oh, do you think he's giving himself air?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
On the raft, yeah.
But how? So is he hitting the air?
Because I think he put like holes in it and then just don't...
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So like...
Use November Rain to hit the raft. So the rain
can't go underwater, but if it goes through the raft and his oxygen... Also, there isn't just like oxygen... whatever. It's air, I guess.
It didn't make like anything would fill up with like water if it goes under... Also, when okay, I guess they just made it heavy enough to sink, I guess. It put enough heavy like rain in there to make it sink so it's not like holes in it right away.
But because air more buoyant than water? Air should rise in water.
Because when you deflate a raft, it doesn't just sink.
Yeah, there's still air in there. So there's still air. This reminds me of one of the terrible G.I. Joe movies, probably the first one, the live action ones. The climax hinges on the fact that they're in the Arctic and the good guys shoot missiles at ice to crash the ice so the ice sinks and crushes the bad guys' submarine base. But it hinges on the fact that ice is sinking in water, which is not how ice works. Ice does the opposite of sink in water. It floats in water.
I'm 100%.
This thing should not be sinking to the water.
Unless the rain's making it super heavy and shooting it down. But
once again, once it
gets underwater, it should shoot back up.
Yeah, once again, I have to say, like, JoJo's power seems to not be able to penetrate the water. Why is it able to penetrate the water when it hits something?
I do like the shot of all the November. You can see the November rain above. Also, you could not see this well underwater in salt water like this.
They're in Hawaii. The water's very clear in Hawaii and some islands.
But I do love the shot of like the rain, like it looks like it's being like like dripping down there.
It looks great. I love the little like under the sea perspective of the water dripping through. Very cool effect.
Okay. So this part, okay, I think JoJo's doing well. He's probably gonna kill the guy, and Okay.
Let's make him one of us.
Okay.
This is one of the craziest.
He was the coolest guy.
This is one of the craziest like single line drops that we've ever had from just like a guy.
This is
like,
up there
JoBro.
with some of these like terrible, like baffling lines of like from Naruto, where like he was the coolest guy who just like murdered or attempted to murder, and then we get all these revelations of we're gonna make him one of us because those cat heads, they weren't real cat heads, they were potatoes, and
this is awesome.
He was just trying to scare us. This is like, wait,
this is
what?
awesome. This is insane to think that this man was like, I'm going to bluff that I fucking mutilated these cats.
And Dragona's like, he almost killed me. If I didn't have smooth operators, I'd be dead.
But you're not dead, Dragona.
See, he's a good guy. He was the coolest. He was the coolest guy.
He knows shit.
Clearly, like. You can confront with him. He can join our gang.
This is really fucking funny.
He knows about the. Oh, okay. We keep him alive. We can learn him more about the Lava Rock. Okay,
that does make sense. But thinking, let's make him one of us, is such a crazy leap from that.
Like, tell your little brother not to let him drown. I'm like, how are you gonna tell him that?
Yeah, no one is going in. People are just watching him. It's just funny. This is funny. I love that Paco is like, let's make this a win-win for us.
So I have a theory that like I don't think he'll join the main team. But I think they're building a team, like Ocean style. Like, okay, we got our clip.
But for what purpose?
Exactly. It's gonna come with
that was a question.
Exactly. Remember, the end game is gonna be a giant heist at some point. They're gonna use all their allies.
Do we know that?
No, I don't know. I'm just fan theories. Yeah, but like theories. You got your guy who's the camouflage guy. You got the lock picker with Dragona, or like and you got like the person who got the cameras.
You mean the wound mover.
The medic.
Dragona, the wound mover.
And like Paco, the kleptomaniac. Like they're building a team because I don't. This is like not a power that I feel that's like a main character power.
I would say the same shit about fucking the hustle. Honestly, like
true.
These are really wild main character powers.
But people are also thinking like, oh, this is when they're gonna talk to me. This guy's gonna get sniped like poor Tom style.
That would be dumb. I wouldn't like that. That would feel a little hacky, but it didn't happen yet. Oh, we didn't talk about the fucking,
the ending, where just like the.
Yeah, so this is the interesting thing. So the watch actually goes back to the guy. The guy gets the watch again. So does that mean he has the stone? Because the watch ends up in a fish's mouth. A fisherman catches him.
It's in a bag.
It's in the fish's mouth.
It's in a fish's mouth? That's a weird looking fish. It is a fish. It's a really weird looking fish.
It's probably like a freaking pokey or something. It's probably got like a Hawaiian.
Yeah, probably a Hawaiian fish.
It's probably some iconic Hawaiian fish that I've never seen before.
Yeah, it like swallowed the watch, I guess. So
he does. I mean, we don't see him holding it, but he does get the watch back. So it raises the question: who has the stone?
I don't.
Presumably, it would be the dude. Well, so we know that the enemy stand user did go buy their car, so it's possible. Does this guy have pockets? It's possible that he threw it in one of his pockets.
Well, the end line is also off to a new encounter.
Oh, I didn't even read that.
At the end?
Where is this?
At the very end.
Oh, off to a new encounter. Very funny. They're treating this stand fight as one.
And done.
When there's been no conclusion or resolution.
Status. In the middle of drowning.
That is a classic fucking a Rocky thing.
I feel like a Scott Pilgrim like the name card like JoJo got this under control. This unknown man halfway to drowning. ... waiting. Everybody else waiting to tell him to stop.
So I think that he gave that man the stone.
This is a D&D party finishing off like their bad guy of the session while they're watching as the one guy goes over the board with like his finish him. But, like, yeah, it also made me feel like, man, the girl kind of seems I feel like, what is this lady, this random girlfriend, is, like, a bad guy?
You say menacing?
She's gonna be menacing.
I think she's just, like, kind of flaky.
I know it might be a joke, but what if you just made her, like, a next villain?
That would be fucking funny.
Because she's gotta go, because she has the rock.
I love the way she talks. She's like, I kind of think I'm gonna go.
You slipped her the rock, or you slipped the fish the rock.
It's possible that either one of them has the rock.
It's the lady. Why should it be the lady?
Probably is the lady.
She has the rock because the rock's gonna come to her anyway.
I mean, I guess technically neither of them need to have the rock, but it makes sense that it's coming back to them rather than going toward because JoJo is still underwater.
But it did lead them to the water, but eventually, like, it washes. It could just wash up at some point. But
knowing how frequently this guy's shown up, I could see the next chapter being them following him. They'll team up with the new enemy stand user, and they'll be like, I gave it to that fucking weird looking guy, and then they'll see the car pull away, and they'll be like, we gotta chase after him.
I gave it to that hot babe over there who I hid inside.
I slipped it between her freaking nipple.
That lady that we almost stabbed. It's just really funny. Like, and the cats are probably alive. Like in the jungle. I'm like,
yeah, I love these. Like, they're his pets in the jungle.
This is just like ultimate like back. It's so crazy that you had the ultimate back down of a character. They're like, no, he's actually kind of cool, guys. Like he can't. It's like okay.
As far as so Araki does the death fake outs. This is like criminal.
Imagine if Anasui were like, no, he didn't actually rearrange his wife at the time.
They were clocks. It was actually clocks.
They were actually mannequins the entire time. He just got sent to the loony bin. Like, just going back on all their past crimes.
Stupid and dumb.
He was the coolest guy.
Stupid and dumb.
Like, what if we forget, just forgive, like, I'm trying to think of an equivalent to, like, One Piece or something. Because I can think of 20 Naruto characters that they've done this with.
It's stupid. It's anime. Vegeta, come on. Like, you always take a bad guy. You always make a bad guy a good guy. It happens all the time.
He did that with Frieza go.
Yeah, unfortunately, apparently that happens later, too.
Goku throws sensu beads to perfect cell after he was...
I saw a really funny tweet today where it was, like, Goku in, like, Dragon Ball saying, like, I'll never be friends with an enemy. And then it was just a screenshot from Super, and most of the screen was circled red because it was mostly enemies standing next to Goku. It was like Frieza, Tien, Yamcha, like Piccolo. Like literally everyone who he's friends with were at one time an enemy.
And he's blasted each of them through the chest at some point.
It's true. All right.
I'm just thinking of
what are your thoughts about this chapter?
I'm thinking of just Yukai like, no, it wasn't Ghetto the entire time. He's a good guy. He just got, he may have killed a few. He didn't actually kill the people. That was just your soul being. That was just an illusion the entire time.
He got better, guys. He's good now.
Mojito, he wasn't actually a bad guy. He just made everybody think he just warped all those people and civilians.
He made them think. He made them think they were monsters. That's why we had to kill them. They thought they were monsters.
He's actually on our side, guys. Like, it's so funny. Just I know JoJo does that a lot. Like, even like he has a whole horse kind of got his own spin-off and everything.
Oh yeah,
Part 4 is just about like claiming all these past villains of the week as good guys.
Which I love. I love that.
Yeah, and they all become gremlins.
I mean, you even said like Bruno, literally like chapter 4. What is that like? Bruno fucking joins him like so fucking early.
Yeah.
And is the first like real like antagonist. Like kind of, I mean, I guess you could say Pulpo is technically the first one.
And part 6, everybody's like a criminal. Like Heavy Weather and Anasui are both murderers.
It's true.
Like,
and if only it happened with our favorite character ever. What's her name? She has the shrinking stand in part 6.
The which one?
Gwess. If only it happened with Gwess. But we were deprived.
Remember Foo Fighters' original body was like
just
a kidnapper?
Woman, yeah. She
kidnapped a baby.
Yeah, just a random woman. She's dead now.
She's dead?
She's fucking dead now.
Well, yeah. we replaced her with somebody superior. Superior Plankton. The superior host.
Yeah. Okay. General thoughts on the chapter.
Good chapter. Just some, questionable things that I have to wait to see what he does with the follow-up. It's just weird to have and he was the coolest guy the entire time. Like just pulling it at your ass. I'm like, it wasn't actually cat heads. He just used his power to make us think it was
it's very funny.
The cat heads.
But Sam, have you thought about how funny it is?
He had a great sense of humor, guys. I'm gonna
yeah, I like this chapter. I thought it was pretty good. He
actually saved a bunch of orphans from a burning building too.
I really think that it's really hard to compare to the last chapter though because it was so good.
What's your favorite feat that this fan probably did that Paco knows about?
Favorite feat?
His favorite feat? Yeah, like he the goodest deed he's ever done that Paco knows about.
Oh, I don't know. We'll never know because this character's gonna die in the next chapter.
Gonna drown.
I was curious. I'm still trying to look it up. I'm trying to see where we were in chapter 11 of JoJoLands.
Oh, you mean
JoJoLands? It's just really bad. I keep doing that.
Would Fun still be going on?
Fun would probably be over.
Maybe the very beginning of California King Bed?
Definitely be over. California King Bed was ending.
Okay. So was it the stair going up to the going up the stairs?
Hold on, I'm speed running.
I'm gonna say that's
Chapter
probably
10.
where you got the family tree first chapter. Then
Literally, it was actually chapter 11 is the chapter where, right after that, right after the family. So that was the one
Daya,
where we
she
get
was
the hilarious shaving scene.
Daya, she was the coolest girl, despite her trying to like brain destroy me.
Okay, this actually is literally. You're right. So this was the early reveal of the
family tree.
The family tree. That was chapter 11 of JoJoLand.
She was the coolest girl.
And I have to say, I mean, I'm kind of biased because early JoJoLand, I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
What an incredible hook that was.
Yes.
The early reveal, the initial reveal. I mean, it gets expanded on.
I think a general shock of somebody joining the squad, like from a fight like this, because like Mom is, we got the planet appraiser just like, oh yeah, just find the guy, and he's like, he's part of your team now. Congratulations, you found him.
Yeah, I do. I mean, this is a very different part. I appreciate that Araki's not trying to do a mystery again because I know he'd mess it up. But I have to say, like, compared to JoJoLand, like, I feel like I was so fucking hooked.
Would you be more excited if it was revealed he was a rock human and had the potential of having an ally rock human joining them? Because that's something.
I honestly don't know how to answer that.
That's something a lot of us wanted in Part 8 was like maybe have a rock
Show
human.
us that rock humans aren't just pure evil because they kind of flirt with that, but like they never really commit to it.
Like, yeah, you're just born evil.
Because like the closest we get is with what's his name? The guy that has the the twister stand. Tornado stand. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking screaming at me through their iPods.
Their iPods?
Yeah, through their iPods are screaming. Whatever. I don't care.
But
I don't care.
I mean, because like they showed with him and I think with Blue Hawaii, where like they both fell in love at some point, but they kind of just got
Yeah, Blue Hawaii also.
Yeah, but and even he showed no emotion. Like poor Tom showed lots of emotion for a rock human.
Yeah, he feels like he's almost not even a rock human. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like I know that they're like the antagonists and such, but I think it would be kind of interesting. I also kind of like that they haven't dropped him being a rock human. One thing I really like about JoJo is how Araki is Dubiwa. Thank you. Dubiwa. One thing I really like about JoJo is how quickly Araki is to just completely abandon major things from previous parts. So I don't know if I want him to be a rock human. I think I would be fine if he was just not. Like, I think that would be kind of fine. I know it's probably going to be the case, but
I would love it to be a subspecies of rock humans that are, just like
the Alola variants.
Yeah, the Alola variants. As we said before, like I would love that. That one that are more tuned to the water. That are men of the sea.
Men of the sea, yes. That would be an interesting callback. But yeah, I mean, it's like just comparing it to JoJoLand. I know it's not fair.
I fear if they ever get on a plane, what would happen to our cast if they get plane?
They've already successfully ridden one. They're trying to ride another. They are still trying to board that original plane.
And they're now in dangerous waters. I feel like they're gonna take a boat.
Okay. You have to, right? I mean, they're in Hawaii. Like
we should.
There's got to be some boating action going on. There's so much ocean around them. But yeah,
surfing arc.
I think it's interesting that this chapter in JoJoLand. I'm gonna keep doing that. We had like, I mean, I love the intro to JoJoLand. I think it's fantastic. We had the super compelling mystery setup. We had, I know people don't like California King Bed, but we do.
We're defenders. A tier.
I would have to say, a very interesting stand fight. No one can deny that California King Bed is an interesting stand fight. Whereas this part, I have to say, the cats are kind of dumb. The cats were funny. I would say the cats are funny, but I don't think the cats were like extremely compelling or interesting in any way. They were just kind of like an antagonist that was mysterious and didn't have like a person that you could get information out of.
Yeah.
And then this fight is also like, I mean, last chapter was visually really cool and interesting, but this chapter was kind of just like, okay, we're fighting. Like, it's just a fight chapter. Whereas like the reveal of the family tree was so fucking compelling. It made you think so much about part 7.
Yeah.
Whereas this part like is very self-contained in terms of everything. Well, except Rohan. Rohan is like the weird.
Yeah, that was a weird.
Rohan is the weird like X factor, I would say.
Yeah. I was looking at Steel Ball Run chapter 11, and that's like the end of the first stage of the race.
So that's like past Boom Booms.
Yeah, it's like
which I would say is a fairly weak section of that, but the intro of part 7 is great.
Yeah, and like when Gyro reaches the goal first.
Okay, is that like after Zombie Horse shows up, or is that a little bit later? Is it just the Boom Boom fight that they have? It's probably just the Boom Boom fight.
I think it might be just the Boom Boom fight.
So interestingly, I would say that was also probably I mean, the intro, like the first few chapters of Stillborn are great. The Boom Boom fight is just less memorable than the rest of the stuff that comes along.
You just touch a Boom Boom, baby.
Exactly. That's just in my head.
You just touch a Boom Boom family.
All right.
Interesting.
Do you have any other thoughts about this chapter?
Nah, I kind of gave my thoughts and predictions. Like, it's funny at the end of the chapter. It's like, yeah, this is solved. This is very funny.
Yeah, it's very funny.
I guess that's taken care of.
I love that Usagi is in love with Dragona. I think that's
great.
Very funny. Them as a duo, I love. They have a really great dynamic.
It was so funny. This is like the first LGBT relationship. I'm like, part 5 had a gay couple in it. Like, both 2 different gay couples. Remember the ones they were also just murdered.
So, okay, yes, but they're also like, it's never like explicitly
It's
said.
heavily implied.
It's heavily implied, but like that's the whole thing with like, I hate to say the word queer baiting, but like that is like the whole thing is that it's implied but never stated. Whereas this, like, and Usagi literally is like, "I love you, Dragona."
It's what the first like,
which you can say is a joke.
It's the Anisui equivalent though for that, or just a one-sided. Because I don't think
it would be very strange. I mean, Araki does not like to do romance in his character since like part 1. He's not really touched.
Yeah, everybody
romance,
and like the best chance he had that everybody wanted, he didn't do with Josuke and Yashiho, where like they didn't like have that kind of like not even a handhold.
He flirted. That was the most that JoJo's ever like dipped into actually like romance and as a main story element. But
and we all like we all rolled our eyes when Daya was just being creepy on Josuke.
I mean, that's like that's not romance. Like that's not like a romance story. That's
basically half that family just creeped on like Yashiho or Josuke.
Yeah.
Hato had what's the name? Damo.
The best. I wanted their relationship to last.
I wanted them to fuck.
I wanted them to fuck on screen.
That Dojin. Send that Dojin
we need more men that look like Damo. That's all I'm saying.
Send that Dojin to @KingProtus
on Twitter. All right. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. Do you want to do our root beer talk?
Root beer talk, Sam. You get to start.
Okay. One thing for, I guess, video game wise,
this Root Beer Talk is a section of the podcast where we talk about things that are not related to JoJo.
Yes.
It's a way for us to talk about things that are happening in our lives because we like to talk about stuff.
Yes. First game I've been playing has been Yakuza 2, the remake Kiwami 2, which is great. I'm enjoying it. There is a plot point of secret Koreans, which is very funny. Where
I have heard about the secret Korean plotline, but I didn't know that was 2.
Yeah, there's some secret Koreans. It's very weird, but I'm at that point where I'm kind of just doing a bunch of the side activities. Like, there's a mini game that was in Yakuza 0. It's called like you basically run a cabaret club essentially of like not prostitutes. They're there to like talk up the men, and you run it, and it's like a really fun mini game to get really into it. You get to give them makeovers and dress them up. It's like very addicting. It's so fun because they have like different stats, but it's like one of the most addicting games. You basically have fights because of that.
That's hilarious.
And there's another one. It's like an RTS game, which I don't like nearly as much, but it has Majima, so I forgive it. But no, the game is fun. I love Kiryu, still great. I love him. He's a good boy. I like it's a fun game. I recommend playing 0, Kiwami 1, and 2. They're great games, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure if I want to go to the other ones because they only have remasters of 3, 4, 5. So
wait, this was a remake?
It's a remake of 1 and 2.
2 was a remake, okay.
Of 1 and 2 in like the new engine.
Oh,
they were PS2 only. If you know, in the original Yakuza that or like a
Mark
Dragon Now
Hamill.
1, Mark Hamill voiced Majima,
and when remember.
Yeah, I do not remember, but it's so bizarre to hear that old dub of it because now they basically just have it in Japanese other than 7 and 8.
Does he sound
8's also in Hawaii, by the way.
Does he do the Joker voice?
He just does Mark Hamill, I think.
Because you know what I mean, like the Mark Hamill Joker.
I don't think. Maybe I have.
It's like more of a higher pitch. Like
he should
kind of like a raspy.
He should, because Majima is like at least after 0 is like that. 0 is a great game. If you want to play any Yakuza game, play 0. It's genuinely.
I should probably play 0.
It's very good. It's
probably play 0.
Even though it does have one of those moments where it's like, but he was the coolest guy. Like he did horrible crimes, like a horrible thing. I'm not gonna like forgive this man or like give him like a send off. Like no, he deserves the rot. But that game does have one of my favorite bosses in music. So 0's great, but yeah, 2's been fun. It's very jazzy with the fight music, which I'm loving.
So, okay, when I went to Japan,
Yes.
I went to a place called Golden Gai, which is a mini district that is basically just tons of bars stacked on each other.
The debauchery.
Is that in Yakuza 2? Because I've heard
well,
that...
There's two areas. You go Kamurocho and you go to something with an S, but that region, both of those are in Yakuza 0. That's why they put that in Yakuza 0 so they could reuse that asset into 2. Called like Satenboro. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's like those are the two regions. I think they're based off a real location, so I'm not sure.
So I tried looking it up, and of course, if I just type in Yakuza Golden Gai, I'm gonna get real articles.
So Kamurocho is based off of Kabukicho, which is the red light district in Tokyo in the Shinjuku ward.
Okay, so I think it's near Golden Gai. Golden Gai is a really cool little area.
But
you said Kamurocho, right?
Yeah, Kamurocho is what they call it inside the game.
Okay, Kamurocho is based on the real life Golden Gai area. Okay, so it is.
Okay.
So yeah, did you go to the Golden Gai?
I went by like a part of that town that felt like I was in Yakuza, but I didn't go like the I don't think the giant.
The streets
like,
are like super cramped, and it's literally like they'll have like 3 stories of bars on each side, and the bars are so small you can fit like 4 or 5 people in them.
Yeah.
So we went with I went with our one friend, our Japan friend, our friend who's American in Japan, and we went to a sake bar. That's where we started, and we stayed there for like an hour and a half and drank a lot of sake, and it was fucking cool.
So the other
God damn it, Sam! I want to go back to Japan so bad.
So yeah, the other location in the game is it's based off a district in Osaka, which is called Dotonbori.
Okay.
Dotonbori. So
I have no context for Osaka because I've only been to Tokyo.
Yeah.
I've only really been to Shinjuku.
Game is good. I said I kind of want to try the new ones if I get to them because they have new ones in Hawaii, like take place completely in Hawaii.
Is that the man that?
Infinite Wealth.
Infinite
that's
Wealth.
a prequel.
Okay.
That's kind of a prequel with like so you can play.
There's too much of this
shit.
Because
well, they use that one to keep doing the beat 'em up kind of genre, where the new ones have the RT, the real time, I guess RPG.
Like a Dragon is what it's called.
The Dragon Quest ones.
Yeah.
But I get fun to get distracted. I refuse to play Mahjong. I had to use the cheat item to just get past the sub story to get to it because I don't know Mahjong.
I will play one of those eventually, and just frankly, I'm intimidated by the franchise.
0 is the perfect start, I think.
That sounds good to me.
I love 0. 0 is probably my favorite one.
Is that the one with the fucking meme karaoke song?
Yeah.
That's
also in 1.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But it also has like the dancing that it's Friday where they're like dancing together. Like that's also that one. But the game is great. And
right.
Anything else?
Oh, we're doing more than one today.
Quick one. I watched Echo. It was like a 5 series of Marvel.
You are the only human in fucking the world.
I was very bored on my snow day in New Jersey.
Is it the whole season? Did you watch the whole season?
Yeah, it's only 5 episodes.
Is it
okay?
Good.
First, I think 2/3 of it I enjoyed. Had some each of those first 2/3 had a really cool fight in it, and then it ends on a wet fart like a typical Marvel show. But Vincent D'Onofrio is great. I love him. He can just talk. He can say anything, and I will just be compelled to fear this man.
I mean, I like him a lot in Daredevil, but like, I'm not gonna show up for these fucking shows.
Oh no,
I'm not watching any of this shit.
You can look up the 2 good fights in that, and then you don't have to be.
Frankly,
it is interesting.
I don't even want to see those.
the fights are harmless, but then after that, I went back and just on YouTube, I watched the Daredevil hallway fights. I'm like, this is way more.
If I were to watch any Marvel TV, I'd probably want to rewatch and finish Daredevil.
Loki season.
I know there's a new.
I enjoyed Loki season 2.
Yeah, I never watched that. I liked season 1 a lot, actually.
It is funny to watch it with knowing about Jonathan Majors, but it kind of set up a way of like to get past that.
That's really fucking funny.
But that's kind of the quick stuff. I think like other than we might have some similarities with stuff we talk about on your end.
Hello, this is Future Jim. We're about to embark on a pretty lengthy and spoilery One Piece discussion. I was going to give a time code to skip to, but we kind of do just talk about it for the rest of the episode. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers of up to the end of Wano for One Piece, you probably want to jump out now. So thank you for joining. Once again, Patreon, blah, blah, blah. Bye. So okay, I just want to talk about one thing on my end, and
Okay.
I don't want to go into spoilers too much, but I did finish Wano.
Okay, we were
so
talking about
One
this
Piece.
way a lot beforehand, so we might just make this a podcast episode later in the future or more detailed.
Yeah, so I wanted to get the total chapter count. I believe Wano is the longest One Piece arc.
Because I remember like 100 chapters was Act 3, I think.
I was shocked.
I read that in Japan. I read Act 3 all in Japan while riding the subways.
I was too busy staring at Japanese people who were afraid to make eye contact with me.
Hmm.
So this was in 2022. This says Wano arc's 129 chapters and counting. That can't be right.
We talked about it like a lot beforehand, but when we get caught up, because me and Jim are both kind of, I'm back in the reading like the newest arc, so like me and Jim, when we get caught up, we might just do an episode discussing Wano and current stuff.
So Wano spans chapter 909 to chapter 1057.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I guess that's about right. Apparently the longest arc in One Piece. It is presented in 3 arcs, strangely.
And
3 acts, rather, strangely.
And we both kind of had the same thought at the end, where like first 2 arcs are very a lot of setup, and like it really just kind of grinds on you.
Ultimately, that's kind of my big takeaways. I'm just like, why did Oda decide to do it this way? Because I think, so no spoilers, obviously, but I've been going through One Piece. I saw I'm not caught up. Very recently have I read these. I found Dressrosa to not be a great arc. I found there to be issues, but I felt like he really addressed a lot of my issues in the very next arc, Whole Cake Island.
Yeah.
I felt
we
like
both like that arc a lot.
I think he really understood a lot of his like shortcomings when it comes to setting up these mega arcs, and was like, all right, let's do a very long arc, but it's going to be brisk. It's going to have a lot of characters. It's going to have we're going to still focus a lot on our main crew.
Our main new
and then
female...
Wano is not that at all. Wano is so much a departure from that.
Here's that new female main lead character for the arc. You're going to like her a lot more than you like Rebecca.
Yeah, basically.
I like the second half of Dressrosa. I still think the Law flashback is one of the best.
Okay, I did want to talk about Law a bit, because all right. Law is a very interesting character to me. I know people compare him a lot to Sasuke.
I don't think he's I can see why, but compared to Sasuke, I know Sasuke, I don't.
So yeah, I don't know Sasuke, but one of my issues with Law is he has a longer flashback than any crew member flashback.
That is true.
And he's not even a crew member.
But it's also supposed to tie to what's his name?
The arc.
Doflamingo.
Yeah, it ties in. It's
heavily.
Like it's late arc flashback that you always get in a One Piece arc.
But I thought I understand like why people, if you don't like it because of that, but I thought it was just very good. Like,
for me, like the reason why like I'm starting to see, because I've heard a lot of criticism of Law, and it's kind of clicked in my brain like, yeah, he does have kind of like the most OP things. Like the fact that his fruit can like literally like keep someone immortal is weird, and it's not something that we ever really see from like any other fruits.
It's like a secret technique, but it like literally will kill you.
Law. The problem with Law is that he's just like my little special guy that's perfect in every way.
He's like,
he does lose occasionally, but he's still epic and he's still awesome. That's the problem.
Because he's like that super popular character. It's like remind me of
Sasuke effect,
the Gojo effect.
The Gojo effect, yeah.
Where like he wasn't intended to be the main character, but he's so cool and epic, and girls love him that. I cosplayed him twice.
Like I'm not shitting on Law, but
Law's
it's like
my boy. I have a figure of Law on my shelf, my boy shelf.
Your boy
my boy shelf.
I am in danger, because if I shit talk Law in front of Sam, he may use the Ope no Mi.
I'm gonna do room on you, replace your head with a cannonball.
But I think it is kind of weird that Law gets to be like in every arc after his reveal.
Well, don't forget he can also switch bodies at any point he wants to.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll.
He gets remove your heart.
Do that ever
no,
again.
He won't. That's too OP.
So yeah, I don't know. Like to me, I wish Law didn't show up as much as he did. I think he's way too important. And I know exactly what you said. He's a big fan favorite. Like Oda can't like ignore him anymore.
And plus, I think the fact that he's like a big part inside. I think out of all the Warriors Generation, he's the only one that shows up in like the war, in like the whole war at the end at the first before the time skip. Like he's the one that he takes Luffy.
Like, the only one he's not in is he's not in Fishman Island. That's the only fucking arc post time skip, and like during the time skip
post introduction
he's not, because he's in like ever since Shabati 1, he's in every single.
He treats Luffy.
Yeah. And like I understand too when you like Chopper's a doctor, like you don't need to have another doctor.
Well, you had to wait till Wano for him to doctor again.
But okay, well, we're not even talking about Wano. I'm just bitching about Law now. But yeah, Wano, I really did like it in the end. I just wish that the first 2 acts were like maybe 10 chapters.
Hey, Luffy had to go train again in a training arc,
which is shitty. I think a training arc in a manga like shouldn't be shitty, and it was shitty.
Jim, we should talk more about hockey.
No, I still have like really bad issues with hockey.
We do have, because we'll probably talk about it more if we do that big Wano review.
We'll talk about Wano eventually, but yeah, I just had some thoughts about. We mostly talked before.
Overall, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I really liked it at the end. I just think it dragged on too long.
It did do.
It's just a shame because when I think back to like the pure peak One Piece arcs, like there is a lot of stuff going on and some of it feels like it can be cut, but even like Alabasta is basically like Dressrosa kind of redoes Alabasta. Part 3 of Wano kind of also does like a similar thing. It's actually closer to like Water 7.
No, I can see Wano, because Wano was like the thing they built up similar to Alabasta. Just like they keep building up, they refer to it a lot. We got to meet characters that live there, and we're kind of building up to everybody to return and settle the conclusion there.
Yeah,
I can see it more like that.
Also, and this is such a stupid nitpick, but like one of my favorite things about One Piece arcs, when you get like to the final bit of it, there's always this big. It's very important where characters are in like the final fight.
Yes.
And in Wano, they try and do that, but just with floors of like a building.
Yeah.
And I just didn't pay attention. Like I would just be like, okay, we're at the part where Sanji is. Like I wasn't caring where people were because they could just jump down a floor immediately
or crash through.
Yeah. So it felt weird that Wano or that Oda even cared, because like thinking about like comparing it to like Water 7 and Impel Down. Is that the second part of Water 7, or am I thinking of? Impel Down the prison? Yeah. What's the second part of Water 7? It's Water 7 and then Enies Lobby. Enies Lobby is like the perfect version of that because characters are spread throughout this entire complex. So it takes a long time to get from one end to another, and it makes the fights really compelling.
He does it with Dressrosa too.
Dressrosa also has it too, yeah.
Because like, oh,
there's like multiple levels.
They're at the factory district, and these guys are climbing the stairs to get to the top.
Yeah, it works there too. I just think that, like, I hate to say it, but I think One Piece peaked at Enies Lobby. I don't know if it's gonna get as good as it ever was.
Well, I've been reading as well, and I'm like going a little bit into Egghead, and Bonnie, oof, what her deal is, and I'm just like, why, Oda? Why do you do this? Why do you make me creep out? And then, and all the designs for the Straw Hats.
Forward, one step back. That's how it always is.
Yeah,
One Piece.
And the designs of the Straw Hats for the arc are all like thumbs down, except Jinbei. I like Jinbei's. I'm glad Jinbei. I'm glad he.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Also, it's an interesting arc because like it happened to me and you at different times, but like we had all this build up to Yamato, and like it's like the weirdest like character like thrown in there, like.
All right, okay.
We'll save for that discussion in the episode.
No, I briefly want to talk about this. I think this is like a really good example of why Oda, like, you can tell Oda had difficulties writing Wano because Yamato, I think it's Yamato. I think you say Yamato. Yamato as a character is so fucking important to like the themes of the arc, but because of how Oda writes his structure, we can't get Yamato until after we get the big like Act 3 flashback.
Were you like me?
So Yamato doesn't. So I was reading.
Were you like me? Where I like, okay, I'm sure they'll show up in Act 2 now.
Yes, I was like, okay, I'm in Act 2. Okay, Yamato must show up.
Where's the name drop? I'm still where are they?
So Yamato literally does not show up until the second half of Act 3.
It's crazy.
It's actually insane.
I was like, this character that like just caused an uproar and like, you know, in a fandom of like, and like one of the most popular characters that I've seen is literally not introduced like into like 50 pages into the last, or 50 chapters into the last arc. It's crazy.
It's crazy, and
it's such an important character to everything that's just have to tie their finger in like many pies.
Yeah, I can't think of another example where Oda has been so handicapped by his own formula, because normally he's able to, like, I'm thinking back to like Skypiea, like anytime you get that late flashback arc, or like the late arc flashback, it's always something that makes you feel strongly about the characters.
But Yamato has like three different flashbacks.
Yamato didn't like have.
So it's like,
I'm talking about like the Oda, or the Odin flashback.
Okay,
that was like
that's great,
because you need to have that before you can introduce Yamato, because Yamato being like, I'm Odin makes no sense. So
it's like I'm Odin, and I know Ace, and I want to join your crew, and I'm also Kaido's kid, and like okay, you have a lot of you got a lot of your fingers, a lot of pies there.
Why didn't we introduce this character earlier? Like, I don't know. I think Oda was really struggling with Wano.
And also, like,
he's probably happy to be that he's fucking done with it.
Everybody like, can you put a character that's OP onto the Straw Hats now? I'm like, they're already OP as it is.
Jinbei was a fucking warlord of the sea. Like, does that mean he's stronger than Zoro?
Yeah, like, he's like literally the guy for the water now. Like, you don't need to worry about anybody falling into the ocean because Jinbei's just gonna come in and like
that's true. And
scoop you out.
Like, is Jinbei stronger than Zoro? Like, because obviously no one's stronger than Luffy. I mean, I hate to be a power scaling guy, but like, it seems like, you know what I mean?
If I'm going by the bounties that I read after Wano.
Well, bounties aren't power level, though.
I know, look at Buggy.
Which is also very funny. Okay, sorry, let's wrap this discussion up.
I was like, it's so funny. You gotta see who fights who and like what that power scaling means. So, but yeah, it's good. Wait, I think Wano's okay. I said not the best arc. Whole Cake is still the best post time skip arc, I think.
I agree.
Because it redeemed Sanji for surprisingly, and then I just made me.
Whole Cake just has so much fucking fun in it, and like when I go to One Piece, I want fun. I do like the drama, but when the drama lasts for like 150 chapters, I'm like, okay, maybe we can chill for a bit.
The world, like the setting in that one's a lot more fun. Where it's just like.
I hate to say it, like I feel like Wano as a setting wasn't used to its fullest.
Yeah,
which is fucking insane.
It's mostly just like some characters will just look like Japanese painting styles.
So, which I loved, but so much of Wano takes place in either a prison or an island.
I hope you like
not Wano.
Also, I hope you like every Straw Hat getting a kimono or a samurai outfit.
Which I liked and didn't like. I mean, you have to.
Robin's
like
battle kimono. I think looked better, and then Nami just became booby ninja.
Yeah, I mean it's Nami.
Yeah, that's all she does. That's all she.
All right, so that was
look forward to a One Piece discussion more about Wano, so we can talk about that arc and characters more. And I have to bring up a wiki of characters because there's so many damn characters in it. And I'm already bad with names, so I need like a page of names.
I can't wait to just show Sam a picture of a random samurai from Wano and be like, what's this guy's name?
Name all the samurai team members.
All right, there's Kinemon.
Yes.
There's Shinobu.
Okay, yes.
There's that's all I got. There's the one that draws pictures.
Yes.
There's the one that there's Raizo.
Okay.
There's
I don't know how many there are.
There's the Kappa, which is his name.
I love him.
His name might just be Kappa.
I think it's a Capo or
there's the cat. There's Dogstorm, and there's
the furries.
The cat guy, which the
two furries. Yes.
Shit, they're just bad characters.
They're literally just like they just like crash.
There's the guy
squatters.
There's the glasses guy that becomes the pompadour guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is not interesting podcasting at all. Who fucking gives a shit about this? All right, I'm actually gonna do
the people who still read Part 9.
It's true. All right, I'm gonna do this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Incoming. There's a long One Piece discussion. Go to this time to skip the One Piece discussion. I'm gonna insert that later.
Okay, all that's left is just plugs now.
Plug it up, Sammy.
All right, plugging up. What are we plugging?
What happened funny in this JoJo chapter?
She moved her wound.
Plug up the hole in the man's bank account after he spent $80,000 on that shitty watch that he lost.
Got it back.
He did get it back.
But maybe it might go away after whoever has the rock.
Yeah, he's not keeping that shit.
Thank you all very much for listening. If you like this podcast, you can, or the video on YouTube, wherever you're watching from, leave a review, leave a comment, leave a like, wherever way to support wherever you're watching. Just drop something on there. You can also drop something on there. Drop like it's hot.
Some used gum.
Use some gum. You can follow the podcast on Twitter or via Jim separately. You can also want your name shouted out again. You can subscribe to our Patreon. And with that, I think that's it. I think we still have I need to do that. What's it called? Recap of the year of JoJoLands, but. It'll be out when it's out, and we like that.
Yeah, we'll do that eventually. We might have some guests on for that. Drop it in the chat. Who would you like to see on our year in review podcast for JoJoLands?
Yeah, and with that, we will see you next month for JoJoLands Chapter 12. Maybe we'll get a name for the man.
Maybe
that man.
Maybe we'll get in. I just had the crazy thought when we get like chapter 17 or 18 and it drops on the 17th or 18th, that's gonna be fucking cool.
I'm going to KatsuCon in February. Hopefully, okay. I should be back by.
Well, that's not gonna be chapter 18.
I know. I'm gonna go to KatsuCon for next month, where I will be back on the 18th. Though I hope I might be a day late next month. Who knows? I'm going to be at a convention. So, all right. With that, we will see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.